Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button if you guys are fans of the content being posted onto this channel to always be in the loop with more content similar to this, and be sure to hit the video up with a like if you're enjoying the content. And with that being said, let's begin. With Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 50 now officially in the history books, many fans within the Dragon Ball community are left wondering, why does Vegeta want to go to planet Yardrad after initially retreating in his battle against Moro and not taking the approach of siding with Goku in leaving via instant transmission, but instead having a different goal in mind? Now, oddly enough, there was something very interestingly said from Vegeta that came within the actual chapter itself, and that was when Vegeta referenced, and I quote, "Forget instant teleportation. We Saiyans pride ourselves on physical might and nothing more. A warrior race has no need for fancy parlor tricks, and yet I've been reduced to this." As just prior, Vegeta also went on to say to himself, "Stupid magic spells, stupid god power," implying that in this fight against Moro, there is nothing that Goku and or Vegeta can do initially to penetrate Moro's defenses, especially if Moro continuously sucks the power out of their bodies, which is exactly what Moro ended up doing during the course of their battle against his prisoner army, which is eerily similar to what Moro had done during the events of Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 43, Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 44, and Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 45, as he went along to subconsciously take Goku and Vegeta's power without them even knowing. As we saw in Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter 50, Goku and Vegeta kept regressing in transformations, and going from Super Saiyan Blue to Super Saiyan God, back down to Super Saiyan 2/3 to Super Saiyan 1 and then base. And being that Vegeta is now very cognitive and very aware of what's going on, he has a different plan in mind, but the question is, why Yardrad? Now, a lot of popular fan theories are going around that Vegeta wants to go to planet Yardrad to learn instant transmission, to which of course, if you guys have not checked out my Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 50 review, in that video itself, we take a look at Vegeta's demeanor and how he expressed himself when Goku offered to use instant transmission. So in taking that and correlating that back to what Vegeta could want on planet Yardrad, instant transmission is far from it. As a matter of fact, one must beg the question, why would Vegeta want to gain instant transmission now and not prior? Think about that. All the times, all of the years he could have had instant transmission under his disposal in using instant transmission against Cell, using instant transmission against Majin Buu, using instant transmission against Beerus, the Universe 6 fighters during the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament, Goku Black, Zamasu, Merge Zamasu, hell, even during the Tournament of Power and against Broly, all of those opportunities and all of those chances that Vegeta had in learning instant transmission, he never once thought that he would need it, nor did he want it, but why now? Which is what leaves me to believe that I don't think that Vegeta is going to planet Yardrad simply to learn the instant transmission, but instead I do think that the reason why he's going to planet Yardrad is to learn a specific technique. Now remember, the Yardrats are known to be a race of beings that are very highly intelligent when it comes to utilizing specific techniques. So I do believe that Vegeta could be going there for one of two things: either A, a technique in learning how to counter against Moro's magic, or B, a technique and or ability that preserves the power and or godly abilities that Vegeta has without it being taken by Moro, which could work in Vegeta's case, being that in the upcoming manga chapters we can only assume that Moro is going to battle against Goku and the Daikaio next, and we know that based on the narrative going forward, it looks like Vegeta is crafting his own strategy while Goku and the Daikaio are going to be doing their own thing. And it's safe to say at this point that the Daikaio and Goku may not be successful in their attempts of taking Moro down, which is why I do believe at this point that Vegeta is going to be the ace in the hole that inevitably leads to Moro either being recaptured or defeated during the course of this battle. However, going with one of the two scenarios, if it does end up being a technique, then if you think about it, this technique is solely going to be exclusive to Vegeta and Vegeta only. That means that during the course of this battle, when compared to Goku, Vegeta at some capacity would hold the upper hand when it comes to having a specific technique that Goku does not. Of course, Goku having to be a mimicker himself and copying many techniques and moves throughout the course of Dragon Ball, it wouldn't surprise me if Goku were to one day also adapt the same thing if of course this ends up being a technique. But at least in one retrospect, we would have Vegeta learning one technique that Kakarot does not, and vice versa with the instant transmission. But no, Vegeta would have no reason to solely go to Yardrat only to learn the instant transmission to fight against Moro with, because if Goku has the instant transmission and that in and of itself proves to be a complete flop, then what use would it be if both Goku and Vegeta had it? But instead, I do think that Vegeta is going to possess some sort of a technique that prevents his god powers from being taken from him, and I think that that would definitely come in handy, especially if Goku has the instant transmission and if Vegeta can be utilized as the muscle, being that his god powers cannot be taken. Then you could further execute in utilizing Vegeta as the offenser while Goku remains in being the strategist and using instant transmission and other abilities to catch Moro off on the side. But that's only implying the case if this is a technique. However, if this somehow ends up being a specific transformation that only Vegeta could unlock, then this could actually go back to Dragon Ball Super Broly, to when Broly was able to use the Akari form. Even when dating back to the Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power, when first encountering Kale, Vegeta had told Goku to be very wary because this form that Kale had could be the actual true Super Saiyan form of Saiyan Legend. So when seeing what Kale did in comparison to Broly and having a very similar transformation, the true Super Saiyan form and or executing the Akari transformation, those could be one of the two things that Vegeta could solely have going into the next fight against Moro, presumably either on Earth or in a different location. And if Vegeta does end up getting a brand new transformation, which I do think may suit him, I think that if they do go with that narrative, they should give Vegeta either the Akari form that we saw Broly use in Dragon Ball Super Broly, or give Vegeta the green-haired Super Saiyan form that Kale had initially during the Tournament of Power, as Vegeta had made reference to be very wary because that form could have been what the true Super Saiyan form actually is. So maybe these forms could have an overall advantage that the standard Super Saiyan form, Super Saiyan God form, and Super Saiyan Blue form do not have. But then again, I do believe that with this narrative going forward, it's more than likely that based on what's being portrayed right now, Vegeta is more than likely to be the victor of this story and finally getting what the fans have been asking for, in Vegeta being the main character to finally defeat the villain, of course with the Daikaio and Goku's help. But if Vegeta goes to Yardrat, he's going there for a very specific reason, and if it's not to learn the ways of gaining a new transformation, then it's most definitely Vegeta having to gain a new ability or technique that can suit him against Moro's magic, because keep in mind, as according to Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 49, Vegeta had told Maris that just one of either himself or Goku at full power using Super Saiyan Blue should be enough to beat down Moro entirely, but the one thing that keeps getting in the way was Moro's magic. And now that Moro has a small army with him, it kind of goes as far as to put our heroes at a disadvantage, being that it's going to be essentially 3 versus more than 10. But in this case, I do think that by the end, Moro is simply going to take his magic back after giving it to them, because with Moro's character and the way he's designed, I don't see Moro having to sit this one through in letting his prisoner buddies have all the fun, especially if Moro gets beat down far enough to where he needs more energy. I can definitely see Moro taking that from them, but this raises a few questions as to what the narrative is for Vegeta going forward, and this ultimately sets up for something greater to come down the line, because it's most interesting how Vegeta wants to disregard the concept of Super Saiyan God. He disregards the concept of Moro's magic, so obviously there's an agenda. There's an agenda for Vegeta to achieve and or use something that goes far beyond Moro's magic and goes far beyond his own Super Saiyan godly abilities, which is why I don't think that Moro initially needs this army. As a matter of fact, I don't think that Moro is truly going to have any use of the other prisoners once Goku, Vegeta, and the Daikaioshin get the upper hand on him, because I think that Moro is simply going to use them as pawns, just like he did with the pilot that we saw in the previous manga chapters, that being Raspberry. So I think that with Moro having to know the fact that he's going to use these individuals. I think that eventually he's going to end up killing them, but I think that one of the main deciding factors of this arc is going to be Vegeta, but at this point we don't know if he's going to achieve a new transformation or if he's going to find and discover a new ability. But I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below about what you guys personally think this is. Is he going to discover a new power? Is he going to discover a new technique? And is this going to place him relevant enough to Goku in future stories and having the upper hand, being that he's going to discover a technique or possibly a new power that's going to potentially place him above where he was before? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Once more, if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload. Be sure to also check out my previous videos if you guys have not before, which also includes the Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter number 50 review. Thank you all once again. Follow me on Twitter and my secondary channels, in which you guys can find the links located down below, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys. Peace!
This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe, and of course I'm here to tell you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
Also follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms to stay connected at all times. And if you don't, then very soon you will all be dead! Oh, did someone say UnrealEntGaming? Oh my god.
The fuck's up? On, put on some clothes!
Well, why don't you put on any clothes?
What? I don't need clothes, but Jesus Christ, that's huge! What, Broly?
Freezer.
Uh-oh.
Prepare to die!